Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation on elasticity today. Today we're going to focus on a couple different things that I think will be important in your daily life. We see the prices of many things increasing and decreasing, but why are they increasing and decreasing? We're going to provide a couple different examples, and we're going to provide why these price increases occur. The schedule for the presentation today is we're going to define elasticity. We're going to evaluate some of the determinants of elasticity. We're going to make a distinction between what is an inelastic good and what's an elastic good, and then we're going to apply it. If you're a manager, what do you do next? Now, why do we study elasticity? Some argue that people don't know really how much people buy when the price changes. Is that accurate? I ask that you as the classes, is that kind of an accurate estimation? Do we know how much people buy? Not really. An example I can give you is when gas jumped about 7%, consumption only fell 5%. There must be a reason why people continue to buy the same amount when prices rose so dramatically. People respond to some types of incentives, but changing their behavior as prices, income, and something of related goods, it really makes a difference in their daily life. Now, the distinction between an elastic and inelastic good. Now, I'm going to apply this to my daily life. I'm going to look at a good that I consume every day, let's say, and if the price, let's say it's coffee, Starbucks coffee. The price of Starbucks coffee increases from $3 to $3.25. Do I buy it? Well, I'd probably buy it. And if I buy it, if there's a small change in demand, I put that in italics, small change in demand, it's going to be a inelastic good. So when there's a price change, there's a small change in demand. An elastic good is when there's a price change, there's a large change in demand, which means people don't buy it. So the distinction between inelastic, small change in demand, elastic, large change in demand. Now, some goods have higher price elasticity of demand while others have low price elasticity of demand. There's going to be several characteristics that we're going to look at to determine the elasticity. First one is substitutes. So if I go to a convenience store, and if I'm at this convenience store, you'll notice that there could be a lot of substitutes available. I'm sorry, if I go to a Publix or a grocery store, I could see a lot of substitutes available. And with all these substitutes available, I have choices I can make on what I want to buy. So if the price of orange juice increases from $3 to $3.50, I can buy other types of orange juice, no big deal. However, if I go to a convenience store, I notice there might not be a lot of choices. If the price increases, I have no way to compare. I might not buy it. Now, what do you think at the convenience store, what type of good is it? And at the grocery store, what type of good is it? So I'd probably ask someone. So in the example, at the grocery store, it's going to be more elastic. When there's a change in the price, consumers can buy something else. And at the convenience store, I have no other choices. I'm going to have to buy it. It's going to be inelastic. Another example of the determinants, passage of time, more time available. So the more time I have to make decisions, purchase a product, the more time I can really decide on what I want to do. So if the price of gasoline rises, it takes people kind of a while to make adjustments. I have to buy a fuel efficient car. Maybe I have to move closer to work. So the more time I have to think, the more elastic it'll be. I have time to make adjustment. The less time I have to think, the more inelastic it will be. I have less time to make adjustments, which means I'll have some challenges for us. So time is very important. This is why you look at Valentine's Day and you notice closer to Valentine's Day, prices get more expensive. No time. Okay? Whether the good's a luxury or necessity. So a necessity is things that we need. Deodorant, toothpaste. Those are products that we need. So if the price increases of those products, I'm stuck. I really don't know what else to do. But luxury items like a watch, expensive cars, if the price increases, I really don't need them right now. So I could buy something else. One of the last ones is a share of consumers' budget. How small of a portion of my budget is it will depend on elasticity. So if the price of gum, here was a good example. I used to chew those packs of gum that were 25 cents. One time they went from 25 to 35 cents. That was a 40% increase in the price of gum. Did I buy it? Yeah. Small portion of my budget, so I continue to buy it. When it's a large portion of my budget, a house, a car, if the price changes by 40%, am I going to buy it? Probably not. Small portion, inelastic. Large portion, elastic. Now this right here I show is a video, and I would show this in my regular classes. It's a video, lasts for about 3 minutes on NBC. It's showing you the EpiPen, and it's going to show students the price of EpiPens have went up by 6,000%. And we're going to talk about the ethical implications of an inelastic good, so they're going to have to define that, if it's inelastic or elastic, and whether that's fair. And then does the government need to get involved and things like that. So that's a good video, but I won't waste your time on what that video is. But it's a very interesting, lasts like 4 or 5 minutes, but very interesting because students see something that people really need and they have to buy it. So now you're the manager. The information we learned, we got to apply to our daily lives. So we're going to apply this in our daily life. And what we're looking at is the concept of total revenue. Total revenue is how much a firm brings in. To calculate total revenue, it's very simple. If I'm a cashier, if Joe comes up to the cash register, he buys one apple, costs $2. 1 times 2, I bring in $2 of revenue. That's all it is. If I'm a manager of a store, my objective is how can I figure out what I'm selling to raise the price on consumers? So, if I'm a manager, if you raise the price of an elastic good, what do you think is going to happen to total revenue? Elastic good, I raise the price. Total revenue is going to do what? Let's think about this. It's a good that people really don't need. Price increases. They're probably not going to buy as much. Total revenue will decrease. If it's an inelastic good, people really need it. Total revenue will increase. Here's some of the challenges we're facing with that right there. Consumers have to be very careful for the fact of this. Producers of the store, they have to be very careful. If I assume that cigarettes are inelastic, that doesn't mean at all price levels I can raise the price on consumers. Because at a point, consumers are going to say, I can't buy this. It's too expensive. So you have to be very careful. If I was a manager of a store, I would see how much can I raise the prices until it turns to an elastic good. I think this is an important concept for students, and I think you would enjoy this if you now can see why prices change so dramatically in our economy. Why do we see those increases in gasoline? Why does the price of water and toilet paper increase? Why do they have sales during holidays of luxury goods? Maybe because consumers are sensitive more to that than they are of something else. Now, I appreciate you being here today. Hope you learned something that you can apply in your daily life.